Casey Gray here from The Conscious Builder, and I'm coming to you this week with something brand new that I will be doing on a weekly basis, and that is a construction tech update. Personally, this is something I'm really interested in, and this just forces me to get into it even more and also give back by showing you what I found. And there's tons of stuff happening, and I just love it. So let's just get right into it. First thing I'm going to start with is actually a truck. Canoo introduces the all-electric pickup truck ready for both work and play. And obviously this is important for construction because we need trucks to build houses. And there are no good electric trucks out there. There are a lot of things coming out, but this one has really caught my attention personally because of what you can do with it and some of the features that they have. They are claiming to offer the most volume and functionality in the smallest space. The first Canoo vehicle, if you've never heard of them, was a so-called lifestyle vehicle and a subscription-only loft on wheels currently being rolled out in select cities in the US, and that is this one here. Jay Leno apparently compared it to a fridge, and you can't actually purchase this, you can only rent it. Their second vehicle was the multi-purpose delivery vehicle, and that is this one here, which could be transformed into all sorts of different configurations, and as you can see in this image here. The third Canoo vehicle to use their proprietary skateboard platform is the not so originally titled Canoo Electric Pickup, which was unveiled on March 10th, 2021 at the Motor Press Guild's Virtual Media Day. And the proprietary skateboard platform is this here. We'll make sure to share all of these links, but they are building all their vehicles on the same platform. And if you watch the video that they have here, you can see that they test this platform out in different seating configurations. So on the side and the center, I believe, towards the back, and you can see what they've been doing. Really cool stuff. Anyways, back to the pickup. They describe it as the pickup as having a masculine look, but sleek and sexy design. The pickup truck is ready for work and play at the drop of the hat. They're claiming the pickup truck is as strong as the toughest trucks out there and is designed to be exponentially more productive. All right, what does that mean, more productive? With steer and brake by wire technology, Canoo can deliver the flattest platform. In turn, this means their pickup is a medium size with one with the capacity of a large size pickup truck. One of the features that I really love about this is the extendable bed. You can see in this picture here. So the tailgate is open sideways and this bed extends. You'll actually see, if you want to go down, when you go to this link, you can watch a whole tour of the truck down here. I'm not going to get into that right now. But that extension that you can pull out extends the bed from 6 feet to 8 feet, which is very handy. If you're in construction, you know what I mean. And the extension also features a license holder and a secondary lamp that takes over taillight functions, and the sides can also fold into a workbench. So the taillight functions I love. I believe they're right in this side here, because if you have something extending out beyond your bed, you actually need to have something out there by law, at least where we are, and those lights would take care of that. And speaking of workbenches, the pickup truck features 3 of them, 2 on each side of the bed and 1 at the front, where an internal combustion engine would be. So that would be in here. There is a panel that folds down, and then you have more plugs and another workbench to work off of. This here is the one on the side. This folds down into a step as well. And Canoo says that you can power all your tools throughout the day with as little as 10% drainage on the battery, which I would tend to believe, because you don't actually need that much power when you're running tools on a job site. Especially nowadays, most tools that we're running, you're just charging batteries, and then the tools go for, depending on the size of your battery, you can run for the majority of the day, if not all day in some cases. Hidden on the side is a step that offers easy access to the bed, and one underneath it, storage of all kinds of stuff. You can use it for medical kit or laptop storage, as is lockable, and noted already is hidden. And I believe that's down here where this actually pops out. Space in the bed itself can be further optimized with dividers, modular wheel wheel chocks for bikes, and configurable tie downs for ladders and large equipment. Canoo plans to offer the roof racks of variable sizes and camper shells, as you can see in the picture up here. Obviously, I'm more interested in it for the work side of things. If you follow myself, you'll know that I actually have my camper taken care of with the 77 Volkswagen Westfalia. Side note, so that wouldn't be for me, but it is very cool stuff that, I really love to see. The thing that I love too is that it's fully customizable according to every individual's needs. So you could fully customize this truck for what you need inside and out. You don't need to take all the features. You choose the ones that you want. So Canoo is going to sell the pickup in two variants, single motor and dual motor, with a maximum of 600 horsepower and 500 feet-pounds of torque, and a maximum payload of 1,800 pounds, which is plenty for at least the stuff that we're doing. Pre-orders will probably be open later in 2021 with estimated delivery in 2023. So I'd love to know your thoughts. One of the things that comes to mind for myself is, will all of these slide outs and lockable folding bump outs and workbenches work well in our climate where we are? So we have to deal with winter and slush and salt and snow, all sorts of stuff. So that's the first thing that comes to mind. Like I said, watch this video here. You'll see what they're doing. If you're in a warmer climate, I think this truck is going to be amazing personally. And I think electric trucks just make a lot of sense. When you're in construction, you typically don't have to drive very far. You have to drive to the site, you park for the day, and then you drive back home. So using part of that battery to charge your tools is very likely, very possible from what I can see in my mind. Because like I said, you don't need very much power to power your tools. And the great thing about this is that you wouldn't need a generator on site anymore. Anybody who's been working on sites without power, having a big generator that you lug around and have to gas up and maintain, pull out of your truck, put it back in your truck, it's just not fun to do. So having everything in one pickup truck in one accessible location is great. I really recommend you check out this video. And for now, we will move on. Post your comments down below. Let me know what you think of this truck. The look, obviously, aesthetics is going to be different for everyone, but love to know your thoughts. Next, let's move on to 3D printing houses. I've been looking into 3D printing for years now. I think it is the way of the future in construction. You can do a lot with 3D printing. We still have a long ways to go, but this is really exciting news to hear. So Kansas City developer 3 Strands has announced USA's first 3D printed homes for sale, the company's first multi-home project in Austin, Texas. Lots going on in Austin, Texas. The housing development includes 2 to 4 bedroom homes. The first floor of the home was 3D printed using Icon's advanced material that aims to withstand fire, flood, wind, and other natural disasters while being built in a matter of weeks. And you can see from the picture below, the 3D printed portion is this gray portion here. They're not doing the second stories. They're really just doing the exterior walls of the main floor. So you can see on the left here and around the side. This isn't the first time homes have been 3D printed. There's a lot of 3D printing going, a lot of research being put into this, which I love, and it's mostly for the structural. There's a company, I believe, in China that did 10 homes in one day. I see a lot of potential in the near future for areas that go through natural disasters. So you bring in the machine to 3D print and you put up a lot of buildings really quickly so that people have shelter. I think that makes a lot of sense. In terms of a lot of the homes that we live in right now, in the way we live, I think that we have a long way to go. I can see that they do have electrical chases set up through here. I would love to know how they've done that. But, insulation, things that come to mind for myself are insulation, plumbing, electrical for when you're doing interior walls. How do you get the floor 3D printed? The more we can 3D print, the less potential for people to get hurt on site, and the quicker we can build and get out of the weather, which is really important. So located in East Austin, the homes include covered front porches, covered parking, open concept floor plans, vaulted master bedrooms, an office and bedrooms, and minimalistic interiors. So pretty standard stuff, from my opinion, in terms of what people are asking for these days. The this is a really good point. Jason Ballard, co-founder and CEO of Icon, noted that there is an extreme lack of housing that has left us with problems around supply, sustainability, resiliency, affordability, and design options. I would agree with that, especially around the affordability and sustainability portion. And there is a shortage, right? And houses are getting more and more expensive. If we can reduce the cost to build homes and we can build them quicker, that will just help everybody. I think construction as a general has a lot of room for growth in the technology world, let's say, because there hasn't been a lot of improvements, at least where we're living here too, is that we're still putting houses up the same way. We're still framing them the same way. The difference is that we're focusing more on airtightness and insulation. There's some products there, but the way we build it is the same way for the most part. And I think this needs to change. And I'm really excited to see what changes in my lifetime, let alone my son's lifetime or my grandchildren's lifetimes. There's a lot of really cool things happening. Let us know your thoughts on this. Leave those comments below. Moving on, 3D printed plastic beams are stronger than steel. That caught my attention, especially because a couple weeks ago, one of our jobs, our team had to deal with a 7-ply, 40-foot long beam that was laminated between wood and steel plates and bolted together. So it was not an easy thing to do. Having a plastic beam would have made that a lot easier. So engineers of the Polytechnic University of Valencia in Spain developed plastic beams with 3D printing that are more resistant than those of steel and concrete. In addition to the high resistance, the creation also presents greater versatility. That's because the beams are made of small blocks that are easy to transport and that are assembled on site, somewhat reminiscent of Lego blocks. That is really cool. Huge potential for this. This would be a game changer, I think, in a lot of residential costs. Is that the amount of time and effort and materials required to get a large steel beam, and especially for all these open concept homes that people want, is expensive. And people, for the most part, don't understand what goes into it until they see us actually doing that. 80% less than metal or concrete beams in terms of its weight, eliminating the need for cranes and trucks for transportation and installation. So exactly what I was just referring to there. So because they're made of plastic, the beams still collaborate for recycling, collaborating for more sustainable constructions, which I also love. So you go to renovate this house years down the road, you can take that plastic and hopefully reuse the steel beam, plastic beam, but you can also recycle it if you're not going to use it. So that is great to see. Once again, let us know your thoughts. You think plastic beams are a good idea or not? Comment below. Next technology, really cool stuff here. I love this stuff. Anyways, lots to share on this one. So the recent announcement of Google Nest Hub 2nd Gen introduces the novel concept of how radar sensing technology can be leveraged by smart home devices to achieve a number of things, such as monitoring the way someone sleeps at night without the use of an actual camera. Often it's perceived that a camera is necessary in tracking or monitoring activities, such as traditional home security camera, but the future of radar tech makes some intriguing practical applications. So I'll get into that. So there's a lot. As soon as I read this, my mind started going, and they basically touch on everything. Once again, there's a video here that you could watch, and they do a really quick summary of what its possibilities are. But I'll get into that here as well. So home security cameras, as you know, provide peace of mind, but they can also be uncomfortable for a good reason. Personally, we do have cameras, but they're on the outside of our home. We don't put them in our home because I'm not comfortable with that. I know that they can be hacked. So why would I want another camera in my house? I know that we have cameras on our computers and so forth, but we shut those down. We got cameras on our phones all the time. But to just have another camera sitting there on a network is not something that I was comfortable with personally. As you can see, risk of hackers are always present. Someone could watch you through the lens of your security camera unless you remove the lens. And then what's the point? So some other things that you could do with this. Xander Cardian has introduced the potential of radar technology in the home that can see the occupant of the space without actually seeing them. So in my mind, it's more like feeling. They can feel, they can sense, the radar can sense that someone is there, it can sense all these vital parts of that person, but it doesn't need to physically see them. So the technology is able to measure heart rate and respiration with almost medical grade accuracy, and uses AI to measure how many people are within a space, whether they're awake or asleep, and to gauge other important data. So obviously you're probably thinking there's a lot of things that you can do with this as well. The radar technology can measure how many people are in a room based on far more sensitive and accurate information than just motion. So get this. This is a great example they have here. Imagine this. You're watching TV on the couch and fall asleep. Many people enjoy a night or two on the couch from time to time, so there's no need to wake you, but the noise of the TV, the thermostat, and other factors can impede your ability to get a good night's rest. When the system detects that you have fallen asleep, it could be programmed to automatically lower the volume of the television, turn off the lights, and drop the temperature in the room to one more conducive for a good night's rest. How cool is that? And obviously that's a great example, but imagine you walk into your house, it'll sense there. You leave your house, you forgot to turn the temperature down, it'll turn things off for you. All great ideas. Here's another example of what you could do. Hotels can put the technology to use to improve electrical efficiency within rooms. If an occupant isn't in the room, then the thermostat can be turned down or up depending on the season to save energy. Lights can be turned off and more. In short-term or vacation rentals with strict rules, this technology can help owners to keep track of exactly how many people are in the area. If you have rules against throwing parties at your rental property, you can know how many people are in the space without seeing them and without invading the renter's privacy. That would be great for all of you Airbnb people out there who don't want to have parties. This is going to tell you how many people are in the space without actually seeing them. Now, the health side, this is really important. Imagine you have a parent or grandparent who's living alone and you want to keep an eye on. This is something that you get a text if their vital signs start to show something. So here's another example. In nursing homes, measure a resident's breathing and heart rate. Can serve as an early alert system for health crisis before they worsen. If placed inside cars, even, the technology can alert drivers if they demonstrate signs of fatigue or anything else that might place them at risk of the roads. So this is really cool too. I know getting into self-driving cars, so maybe this becomes a non-factor, but this would be for all the older cars. Maybe this is something that you can add on top into an existing car. So personally, I really think this is great. A lot of really cool things coming out. It's supposed to be safer than Wi-Fi. One of the things that goes through my mind, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, what's that doing to us? We don't really know 100% yet. This is supposed to be safer than Wi-Fi. So that's great to hear. So let me know your thoughts on this. I got one more to share with you today. Post all your comments below. And this is Elon Musk news. What's a week without news from Elon Musk, right? So if you follow cryptocurrency, you know what I mean. Anyways, Elon Musk, first Mars city construction happening within the 2020 decade. So this decade, so within the next less than 9 years, he's saying that we're going to start the first Mars city. That's pretty wild. Let me know what you think of that. But anyways, he recently tweeted that the construction for NUA, I don't know if that's how you pronounce it, aka Mars-based Alpha, would not be setting foot in 2054, but the company hopes to be starting this 2020 decade after it successfully clears its starships. So SpaceX was a sole Mars contender before, but it seems that the company would have someone to get it done with, and that is the startup space company called Abibu, assuming I'm pronouncing that right, which is known architectural studio company. So with everything that has been said and done, Elon Musk's SpaceX would not be able to reach Mars and begin the Mars-based Alpha construction if their Starship project does not deliver a working prototype. Up to date, the Starships have all exploded upon its descent and landing in their test flights, and that is still within the planet. So what does this have to do with construction? Well, if you're getting sick of building homes, maybe you can get into building the first Mars city. So there is no shortage of opportunities out there in what's coming up, right? So a lot of really cool things going on. That is it for this week. If there is any comments, or I'd love to know your thoughts on any of this, right? This is just news. I have my opinions on things, but I would love to know your opinions as well. I love technology and I love what it can do and how it can help humanity. So I'm really excited to see what comes with all of this. Especially excited about City on the Mars, but in the upcoming future, getting some electric trucks out there and this radar technology into homes and plastic beams, this is all really cool stuff. So until next week, Have a good day.